Okay.
Mataji, that is according to the DC area.
Yeah. Our Orlando is 7:20 to 7:40.
Yeah, that was from DC temple calendar. So this is for our area. So that's good, Mataji. No worries.
So Mataji, but you sent something in six something six
Yeah, I will
o'clock.
check. I will check. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to announce their name?
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Prabhupada. This is Nikunjarasana from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Nikunjas Prabhu, Ram Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining.
I started the recording.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody else would like to announce their name? Okay. So today we are so fortunate to have Her Grace Vanamalini Manjari Mataji from Cedar Rapid, Iowa. And Mataji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, 40 verse. So Hare Krishna Mataji, please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my Dandavat pranams to all the devotees assembled in the call. Today I have a hard stop at 7:30 Central Time. That is your time, 8:30. So,
Yes, Mataji.
yeah, thank you, Mataji. Prayers.
She's so kind that she said, yes, I will give the class. And she cancelled one class of her and she came to our call. So thank you so much, Mataji.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Srirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brundavaneshwari Rushabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna once again. We are reading first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes after reading Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita and all other scriptures, and devotees generally think that Bhagavad Gita, I already read, so we don't need to. But Bhagavad Gita is something which is the summary of all the Upanishads. So Vedas, the last part of every Vedas are divided into 4 parts, and the last part of every Veda is Upanishad, which speaks about philosophy, which helps us to grow spiritually and fulfill the goal of our life. So Krishna is so merciful on us that he spoke Bhagavad Gita, which is the summary of all the Upanishads. We don't need to read or know anything else if we can understand Bhagavad Gita end to end. We will not be missing anything from any of the Upanishads if we read Bhagavad Gita. Everything that is spoken in all the scriptures will be there. Even in Bhagavatam, certain pastimes like teachings of Rahuguna, Bharat Maharaj teachings to Rahuguna completely speaks about the mind, how to control the mind, how the mind controls us. And that all we see in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So everything, anything we see in Bhagavad Gita, and for all of us, Bhagavad Gita is like we have to read every day in detail, at least one verse. Like, even 5-10 minutes we should spend on Bhagavad Gita. And then as we are reading, our realizations enhance, enrich, and then it becomes part of our life. So Bhagavad Gita is so clear. So we see that Bhagavad Gita was spoken in the middle of the war. So we all may be wondering like why they have to do the immediate thing. So sometimes when we are doing very important thing, if anybody starts coming and give us say that, oh, come, I'm going to give you a summary of what you are going to do right now, then we will be like, no, I have so much to do. We don't have time to talk. And then we'll go and don't prefer to listen. But when we are doing a critical and important thing, it is always good to listen before what we are doing and what is the purpose of it, what are the precautions that we have to take so that we don't mess that up, or what are the important things that we have to remember to make it successfully. So we have to keep that few minutes time before and sit down and think through the process. Then we will remember, we will be well prepared for performing that task. Instead of jumping onto the task immediately, if we take 5-10 minutes time and sit down and think through the task, like halfway through the task, you may be needing something which will be somewhere away, or you don't have it or something. Then suddenly halfway through, you cannot stop the entire task saying like, oh, I don't have this. So we have to do a little bit prep before. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken at the right time, where Arjuna was so overwhelmed with his emotions and he completely forgot his duty as a Kshatriya. And then he was giving various reasons to Krishna. And we see already, because today we are reading 40, right, Mataji? 40. So by the time 40, already we see what all the reasons which Arjuna has given. Arjuna has given reasons like initially he's very compassionate about his relatives. That shows how devotee's heart is so soft. Even though the people opposite side are not fit to be shown compassion, any of them, Duryodhana, Karna, any of them are not fit to or deserve to have compassion. But Arjuna was showing compassion, so he was putting compassion at the wrong place, at the wrong time. So he's forgetting a bigger good for the entire kingdom, and then he only was thinking of good for his family members. So he was really, when we look at from one perspective, it looks as if like Arjuna is doing a right thing, like he's not willing to kill his relatives, he's not encouraging a big bloodshed of Kurukshetra war, because if you read Mahabharata, like in a day there are so many warriors getting killed. Like you will be really surprised when you're reading Mahabharata, like how each warrior is shooting hundreds and hundreds of arrows. Not only just the warriors, animals gets killed, like the horses, the elephants, which are used, everything is getting killed in the war. So if we look from one perspective, it looks as if like Arjuna is doing the right thing. But then just if he save all those elephants, horses, people from Kurukshetra war, actually they are not happy in the kingdom of Duryodhana. They are more suffering. And Duryodhana is causing more and more problems. So he has to make a decision, like, and even though even though he stopped the war, all of them are not going to live forever. Actually, they all got benefited by dying in the war because they have seen Krishna face to face while dying, and then they all attain liberation. Even if not that, for a Kshatriya, dying in a war takes him to a higher position than normally dying. So when a Kshatriya dies in a war, he goes to Swarga. So when anybody dies performing his prescribed duty, he will be awarded a higher destination after their death rather than those who escape their responsibilities and duties and die even peacefully on the earth. It looks like they have a peaceful death, but they did not take care of children, they did not take care of their parents, they did not do any responsibilities, what they are supposed to do, and they escape from all those things. It may look to us like they are happy, enjoying, but the after stage won't be happy and enjoying. So Arjuna was putting his compassion at the wrong place, and he was compassionate about his relatives and then friends. And the second one, Arjuna says, like, I won't be able to enjoy, because when all the people die, when so many people die, whatever the kingdom that I'm going to get later, I will be constantly remembering of those deaths, and I won't be able to enjoy. I don't have anybody to enjoy with. Sometimes in our life also, we run so far away in accumulating wealth or achieving goals personally in our life, like corporate goals or like job related goals. We make ourselves so busy that we miss all the precious time with family, with or engaging in devotional service or celebrating important occasions in our life. And when we move so far away, that all the time is gone. So Arjuna was worried that he won't be having anybody to enjoy. And then third misconception Arjuna had is like, I will go to Naraka, I'll go to hell, because all these are teachers, elders, and if I kill them, I'm going to go to hell. So he was fearful of his sinful reactions. Again, here Arjuna is thinking about himself, but Arjuna is in a responsible position where he should not be thinking about himself first. He has to think about the people of the kingdom. A king or a politician or a ruler should keep his personal preferences aside and should think about the kingdom first, because he was being put in that responsible position. Even all of us also, like, when we are responsible, we may be thinking that, oh, I'm not a king or a politician or anybody, so I don't have to think about it. But if you are an elder in a family, or if you are responsible for a family, so we have to sometimes compromise on our comfort and think of a bigger good for the family and then act. So Arjuna is like fearful of sinful reactions. He was thinking that, and then the fear that he had about the sinful reactions is also in a wrong perspective, because he was in a responsible position where he is expected to sacrifice his comfort and do things for a higher good. And if he is not done, if he is not doing those, then he will be considered doing a sin. When a doctor does not save the patient, then he will be liable for that. When a police officer does not caught if he don't catch the thief, then he will be responsible for it. So he cannot say that the thief is my teacher, he's my elder. How can I punish him? How can I interrogate him? Then he's doing the wrong thing. So every one of us will be put in certain kind of situations where we have to ask those, we have to do what is right at that point of time. And if we don't do, we will get sin. But escaping from that, thinking that the opposite person is somebody big or somebody great or somebody elder, I may get sin. We should always find a way how to do it in a way that we don't do more than required for that. So if we are confronting an elder or a senior or anybody when they are doing something wrong, we don't need to be abusive. We don't need to be violent, or we don't need to be physical. We just have to confront aggressively. Like, why are you doing this? This is wrong. You're not supposed to do this. First we should ask questions and then we have to confront. But thinking that, oh, he's elder, he's senior, let him do whatever he's doing, whether it is wrong or right. He's only going to suffer. It's not going to bother me, and we should not walk away. When we are in a position and when we know, we should confront. If we don't do that, we will be sinful. So we have to understand our responsibilities correctly with respect to the scriptures, not what I think or what somebody else think or what society thinks. It's always about how the scriptures are saying. So for that sake, we need to know what scriptures are saying. And Bhagavad Gita is the best guide for us. And the third thing which Arjuna started speaking is about the destruction of the family traditions. Family traditions will be destroyed. So that's where we are, where Arjuna is saying that. So today we are going to do 40. This is one of the verses where we get confused also. Adharma vibhavat Krishna predushyanti kulastriyah strishu dustasu vashneya jayate varna sankarah. Adharma, irreligion, abhibhavat, having become predominant, Krishna, O Krishna, predushyanti, become polluted, kulastriyaha, family ladies, strishu, by womanhood, dustashu, being so polluted, Varshneya, O descendant of Vrishni, Jayate, comes into being, Varna Sankaraha, unwanted progeny. So this is another reason for not fighting. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the woman of the family becomes polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. So nowadays we have so many pseudo feminists who may argue that why only women has to be following all the rules. Everybody has to follow the rules, but women carry a bigger responsibility because they carry the baby, and their consciousness affects a lot. So let's go and try to understand this verse. I'll read the purport first and then I'll go in details. Good population in human society is basic principle for peace, prosperity, and spiritual progress in life. The Varnashrama religion's principles were so designed that the good population would prevail in society for the general spiritual progress of the state and community. Such population depends on the chastity and faithfulness of its humanhood. As children are very prone to be misled, women are similarly very prone to degradation. Therefore, both children and women require protection by the elder members of the family. By being engaged in various religious practices, women will not be misled into adultery. According to Chanakya Pandita, women are generally not very intelligent and therefore not trustworthy. So the different family traditions of religious activities should always engage them, and thus their chastity and devotion will give birth to a good population eligible for participating in the Varnashrama system. On the failure of such Varnashrama dharma, naturally the women become free to act and mix with men, and thus adultery is indulged in at the risk of unwanted population. Irresponsible men also sorry. Irresponsible men also provoke adultery in society, and thus unwanted children flood the human race. So these are the Arjuna's reason at that time where Arjuna is talking. So in the previous verse, Arjuna already said that how if the elderly persons in the family are not there, how the family traditions will not be followed. Because in the war, all the men were there, and many men who are elders of their family will be killed. Usually elders in the family know the family traditions, and then they also guide the younger generation to follow them. And they will be even the younger. That's how the younger generation gets knowledge about the family traditions. It's a cycle which goes, right. Like when we are young, we learn from our elders, and then we pass it on to our younger generation. Like how we are learning in a parampara from our senior devotees, and then when we learn everything, we become senior. We pass it on to the people. So that's how it goes. But if all the elders are killed in the war, and there is the younger generation are not learned yet, ready yet, then they will not be knowing. Adharma bhavat Krishna. If adharma becomes prominent in the society. So adharma can manifest in many, many, many ways. Specifically, we see that by the abuse of women, and internally, externally, people use them in many scenarios. So that's how also, like, not following the rules and regulations mentioned in the scripture becomes adharma. Like when you are not following what you are supposed to be doing, then it becomes adharma. Dharma is when we do what we are supposed to do. And one of the prominent ways the adharma prevails is through the abuse of women. So when women are not treated properly, we can say that our downfall has started. So women should be treated in a right way, respected, protected, and even worshipped. Like, so that to that level, women are considered, and women. So if any kind of an abuse towards a woman is happening, whatsoever it may be, people are not aware. They think that the scriptures are not saying to treat women as subordinates or anything. Women need to be guided. That doesn't mean that that guidance involve any kind of violence or physical things. So we will also dwell into why it was said like that point. But any kind of an abuse starts towards women, the adharma is starting. And then however great we may be, however right things we may be doing, but we already laid a path for our destruction by abusing women. So that is what one way of adharma bhavat, which is what Arjuna is going to talk in this verse. Adharma bhavat Krishna, pradushyanti kulastriyaha. Women will get polluted. So polluted here is not only to physical, it's mostly the consciousness. So how is this happens? Like if you all understand, during the war, when two people are fighting, whoever wins, actually they don't end the war by fighting in the war field. They take all the women, children as hostage. Like they abuse the women actually. So even today in those countries where wars are happening, we see that when some military is there or some military officials are there who are having a higher power, we see that women are abused. Women, like the opposite, whichever is the country having a power, if their military people are there in that country and there is a military rule going on, there is no democracy or there are no leaders or anything, they actually abuse women. They take women as also as their hostage. And in olden days, when a king gets defeated in the war, all his wives, all the maid servants of the queens, everybody are considered as the property of of the king who win. And when this happens, and when they involve in adultery, they give birth to the children. And the consciousness of the woman at that point of time, when she is raped or when she is abused, she is not ready to that situation. She is not willingly engaging in conceiving a kid. So that actually here it means that consciousness is polluted. So when that is happening, we are actually not inviting a good soul to be conceived. That is one part. And the second part is like all these women are not willingly involved in this process of creating the babies. And then they are born. Now nobody is taking responsibility of that baby because these men have abused those women, and then they don't take responsibility of the baby. So when the kids are not taken responsibility, when there is no proper care given to them, when there is nobody nurturing them right and wrong, when there is nobody doing the samskaras, the 10 samskaras that we say we have to do for anybody born, when all these things are not done, they are not growing in a right way, which is so evident nowadays also. uh, there is no the family structure are broken nowadays, so there are so many broken families. When families are broken, the children are the one who are in actually biggest distress. I don't know if any one of you observed or not, even in the regular families, when wife and husband are arguing or fighting or something or else is going in the house, many of the times people think that children doesn't know, and or easily they shut off the children saying that you go into your room and you take care of your things. Um, and then like that people shut they shut the kids off, but kids are the one who actually silently they take and observe everything, and they develop that insecurity feeling, anxiety, distress, and everything. So when children are born like this, where children are not or not desired, means they were not born out of the action was not done to beget a children, it was done as a process of an abuse, then the children are not wanted by anybody there, actually even the mother or by the person who is responsible. So then there won't be any nurturing, there won't be any kind of samskaras done, and then nobody cares for them. Proper education is not given, proper etiquette is not treated, and then those children also, because of this neglect and anxiety and stress, they also don't know what to do, where to go and take shelter, and they generally go and take shelter of the wrong things. So it is very, very important, very, very important, because at certain age, if parents are too strict, children may think parents also as an enemies, like until they are mature. So nurturing children and taking care of children is a big responsibility where the parents has to do consciously. It's not like oh, my love is seen apparently. I anyway love the children, but I won't show in my actions. That should not be the case. Actions should match what our intentions are, especially with the children. Otherwise, the children are not matured enough to understand, and they only understand what they see basically in the beginning. Action shows very faster and makes it understand very faster. So here he is like, so all these children are now not wanted, not taken care properly, and the consciousness of the children is also now not at that level where um, good souls are also not invited, because the process when it is done it itself is not done in a right way. And then also the mother when she carries also is not in right state of mind, and after that also there is nobody to take care of the children. So these kind of unwanted progeny increases. When this unwanted progeny increases with not having proper values or not knowing what is right, what is wrong, and when they grow like that with all the wrong understanding of the society, or oh, I have seen abuse in my family, so I'm going to do the same thing. I have not seen any respect given to the elders, so I don't need to respect the elders. And my elders were only thinking about themselves. They were they were only thinking about themselves. So I will also be very selfish, and I also will think about myself. So that's why nowadays in society we see young children doing a lot of crime, because there is no attention given to them, there is no proper love and affection or guidance given, and then there is so much of internet, where children are watching what they are not supposed to watch. Too much information is bombarded on them in an age where they are not properly matured enough to make a decision that this is right for me and this is wrong for me. All this is coming because of a irresponsible act, and nobody is taking responsibility of that children. So that is what here Arjuna is foreseeing all these things. Now all the elders in the family are going to die, then there won't be anybody to tell the right or wrong, and all these women will be taken by the opposite kingdom, and they are going to abuse these women, and they're going to pollute these women. These women will be in a consciousness where they want to come out of this stage. They just want, sometimes they may have a suicidal tendencies also, because when they are constantly abused, so their consciousness is polluted. So here, that is what it means, that when in this state a mother gives the children and the children are not wanted, so that's what here says, pradushyanti kulastriyaha. The women of the family become polluted. Strishu dustasu vashneya. So when the woman's consciousness is degraded, and the woman is not welcoming the child herself, and there is no responsible person to take care of that child, then what happens? From the degradation of woman, Sri to Dustasu Varshneya, O descendant of Vrishni, O Krishna. So here, how Arjuna addresses Krishna and Krishna addresses Arjuna are very, very significant. See, he did not call him Achyuta, Govinda, Madhava. He referred his dynasty. So he was indirectly, Arjuna was also telling Krishna, you are also from a great dynasty. You are a descendant of Vrishni. So the dynasty is called in the sense that every family, every dynasty, they carry certain traditions, certain values, certain families. By name itself, you know that, oh, they are very respectable family. Nobody in their family does that. Or by name itself, you know that, oh, they're all singers in their family. They all sing so nicely. If somebody is coming from that family, for sure they are great in singing. So certain families carry um, certain kind of things. By name itself, we know. So the family traditions, families are important there because they pass on those traditions to the families. Nowadays, we all became very nuclear families where we are not living with elders. So we are not knowing. Even the elders are busy with the phones. So no, they are also like so much things are out of place these days. Otherwise, in olden days, we used to meet the grandparents more often, and grandparents will engage and teach us the cultures in a more in a way. Now everything is like upside down. Everybody is very busy in so many things which are not important. So that Sri to Dustasu Varshneya Jayate Varna Sankaraha. So comes unwanted progeny. So the unwanted Varna Shankaraha is also like when two different varnas are mixed, because when especially if, as I said, every family have a certain values, and generally when they get married, they see the families and they get married so that they all can be on same page. If one is going to west and other is going to east, then they cannot live together in a family. When you are marrying, the reason they check the families is also because marriage is not just between two people. It may look like that it's between two people. Of course, the two people are going to live together and they are going to make their life. But families also play a role, because these two people are going to involve the families also, right? Like the families are also going to be with them. Nobody cannot just like marry and forget all the other family members, siblings, parents, and all, and then live on their own. So it's one way, it's like you are marrying into a family. So knowing the family traditions is very important. When two different families with two different mindsets, two different priorities, two different directions get married, the friction is more. Like when somebody is highly spiritual and somebody is not spiritual, that itself like creates a lot of friction in the house. Like when there is a free time, somebody wants to go to temple, somebody wants to go to somewhere else for enjoyment. you cannot compromise for a longer time, because when you grow in certain kind of thing, for either of them it will be difficult. A person who is only enjoying all the time, suddenly you ask him to do service or pray, it's difficult for them also. And somebody who is only used to pray suddenly has to enjoy is also difficult. So that's the reason they used to see the families and all and get married. Now when this kind of a wars happen, all those things are not seen, and then you don't know what kind of a consciousness the abuser or the person who is uh, going to that woman have, and the woman's consciousness is already degraded because she is not in her home. She has been captured, she's been kidnapped, she's been taken as a hostage, so she is already in a bad state. In this kind of a situation, you won't get a, a right soul. When it says degraded, it's in both ways, where there is no nurturing, caring given, no proper social etiquette is taught, nothing is taught to how to live in this world, and also the consciousness is degraded. The consciousness is also degraded. See, nowadays many people conceive babies even not knowing that conceiving a baby is also a great service and a sacrifice, because when people when parents before conceiving, they understand the whole process, and if they if they if they pray, and then they attract a good soul with a higher consciousness, which a soul with a higher consciousness, elevated consciousness, is going to deliver all the family members, 7 generations that side, 7 generations this side. So to attract that kind of a soul, we have to do the preparation before. So that's why devotees, they chant before when they know that they are going to conceive and they want to have a children. So they used to chant a lot of rounds, and then they pray for a good soul. There are so many things we cannot do to our own childs also, to our own children also. You may take care of their physical body, you may raise them nicely, you may give them values and all, but the vasanas and the samskaras that they get from their previous lives is something which we cannot predict, which we will not be knowing also. So sometimes even the children raised in a good family, if they have strong vasanas from the previous lives, they go act on them, and then we cannot know or predict. So it is so much so not in our hands. We may be thinking that everything is in our hands, but at certain stages, it is not in our hands. So praying to the Lord, taking shelter of the Lord, to attract a good soul into the family is very, very important, so that we can fulfill the purpose of human form of life, and they also can fulfill the purpose of the life. So having a family, having children is not just only a process of happiness or enjoyment. Many people doesn't know that the children that come into our lives are not only coming just to give happiness. They come with different karma residuals that we also have to suffer or enjoy. And the bestest way that we enjoy or suffer, the closest way is the children. For anybody, the relationship with the children is very close. Means you get attacked, you get attracted very quickly, you get affectionate very easily, very naturally. You are very affectionate, very naturally. You keep your children on top of everything. And then if that child does not follow correctly, does not follow the values correctly, it hurts a lot also. So it's not always the children are only a sign of happiness. It's a karma residual that both of us has to exchange. So they come into our families. When it has that important position, what should be the consciousness of the people who are conceiving? It cannot be an irresponsible act. It cannot be an act where only sense gratification is considered. It cannot be an act where accidentally it is conceived and then people doesn't even know, and then they carry on. So Prahlada's pastime tells us how the baby, as soon as the soul that is conceived, can listen to us from the womb. So that's why in olden days, any elderly people who are there, they used to tell to think more about the Lord when you have conceived. And then also during delivery, they used to say, take names of the Lord, so that you will have a if any accident happens also, you will be thinking about the Lord, and Lord is going to help you to have an easy process in it. So the ultimate protector for us or for the children is Krishna. That point we have to remember. So here Arjuna is telling like, this is what is going to happen. All the dharma will be not there, and also like when elderly people are not there, the other important factor that plays a role to have a good progeny is the Pitru Devatas. So Pitru Devatas, they are one step lower than the Devi Devatas. Pitru Devatas are actually our ancestors, and also there is a group of Devatas called as Pitru Devatas who are going to send a good soul into the family, a soul which is going to deliver us. Sometimes we may not be highly devotional, but the children who come into our family, if they are devotional, we will also change ourselves to accommodate them, and we will also many times when raising the children, the parents learn a lot. So if a good soul is coming and they become a devotees, we'll also become, and then they are also going to deliver us. So to have a good soul, Pitru Devatas play an important role. When they are satisfied, they send a good soul. And how the Pitru Devatas are satisfied? What is the offering to them? Like how for the Devi Devatas, the fire sacrifice that we do, we offer the things in them. And Agni Devata is the mouth of the Devi Devatas. He is going to take those offerings to the Devi Devatas. And then they are satisfied. And when they are satisfied, all the universal affairs like rain, water, all these things will be done, will be taken care properly. And when Pitru Devatas are satisfied, they are going to take care of the progeny in that dynasty, because they want good souls to come into that dynasty so that they also can be delivered. Sometimes the ancestors, they might be suffering in hell, or they may be not having proper gross bodies also, like they may be pisachas or like that based on their past karma. When the person in that family offers the pindodakas, that is the shraddhas they do, they do the shraddha ceremony, right? Like on the day a person died, the son does that shraddha ceremony. Actually, the shraddha ceremony is like shraddha. It has to be done with a lot of faith. It is not any inauspicious act like how many people think. They think that, oh, if I go to any shraddha ceremony, maybe some inauspicious come to me. So it is all misconceptions people have generally. Like in that sense, only Garuda Purana, many people don't touch. That is also a misconception. So here, actually, we offer Vishnu Prasada. Offerings are made to Vishnu first, and those offerings are given as an offering to the Pitru Devatas. So the Pitru Devatas get that prasada, and they also get delivered. And when they are satisfied, they take care of the progeny in the dynasty. They send good souls into that dynasty. So to attract a good soul into our family, even before conceiving, the devotees pray. So that's why the conceiving and after conceiving, the mother, they are all, it's like a process of yajna. It's not any process of a casual things nowadays. What we see, all the things are out of the place. The baby ceremonies, the what do you call that? Something they do. I forgot the right name, Srimantam, but I don't know the name in baby shower. Baby shower is not how it should be done. There are rituals. The rituals actually what they do is all these samskaras that we are doing will remove some sins even before that soul takes a body and comes out. If we do those samskaras, there are certain minute or minor sins which can be removed by doing these samskaras, so that the soul that is taking birth need not suffer, or we need not suffer when that soul is suffering. So all these samskaras are not any celebrative functions. They are all very thought through functions where mantras are spoken, some religious activities are done, service is done so that the sins are eradicated. So if we are Krishna consciousness, if we are chanting all the time, and if we are praying to the Lord, so many more sins will be, so many corrections will be already done before the soul gets birth. So when this will be done? When the child is wanted, when the child is planned, when the child is expected in that family. When if a child is born out of an abuse or a rape or any other things, then all this process is not done to them. And then they become children with a lower consciousness. And when the consciousness is low, they only think of doing sinful actions. They won't think of elevating themselves to mode of passion or mode of goodness. And unless they come to the mode of goodness, they won't be able to appreciate or take up Krishna consciousness. And when the people with mode of ignorance are increasing in the society, when the consciousness of the future generations are degrading and degrading, only sin will prevail. There won't be any good happening in the society. So the root cause here, we are all thinking that, oh, we did not raise them properly, that's why they became like that. It's raising them properly plays only a certain role. Their consciousness is polluted even before they are taken birth. That kind of a souls we are attracting. So it is very important that it's very, very important for us to do the proper things. So immediately people may ask one question like a devil's advocate, right? Like, then how all these souls with a bad consciousness, they also need a body. They also has to get delivered, right? Like how they will be. So it is like thinking, oh, the thief also has to live. So let me open my doors and keep. I will not close my house doors. Let them come and take. So Krishna is going to take care. We first have to do what we need to do to attract good souls so that we can deliver ourselves. And the good souls coming into the family are going to carry the tradition of devotional service, and they are going to preach to many people, and then they can also get delivered or help others to get delivered. So that is very important. So here, that is the whole concern of Arjuna, which now looks like correct. So, and many people in this purport, often I get this question. I don't know why this verse I am speaking today, how this is all planned by Krishna. But I have often asked this question. Many women, when they read the purport, they are all very taken back. Like, oh, we are not intelligent. We need guidance. We need protection. We are not smart. That's what they think. So here it is not speaking about the material intelligence. Nowadays, women can do anything. Women can fly a flight. Women can fly a rocket. There is nothing materially women cannot do. They are equally capable with men in all kinds of educations. Any education, doctor, anything you take, women are capable of doing. Women, irrespective of their body, are becoming stronger and stronger physically. And then they are able to do all those things. The important point here is that women are naturally very soft, very emotional, very affectionate. That's the beauty of a woman. It's not any weakness of a woman, but actually that's the beauty of a woman. Krishna says in 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, like how women are affectionate. The quality of women, Krishna says, how I am fame in women, how I am these things in women. So those are the woman body has that. So first of all, we are all souls. So don't very quickly we identify with men or woman body and say that, oh, I am man. I should be given respect and I should be heard and everybody should follow me even if I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm the man of the house. I'm earning. I'm going to put certain rules which are abusive, or I'll say that I have to be treated as a king and all of you as a slaves. That is also wrong. men identifying themselves highly with the men's body and expecting respect and power from the others, but not being responsible. Actually, men is given a higher position because men are supposed to read the scriptures and guide the entire family in the righteous way, provide for the entire family, not giving them any trouble, and doing all the righteous things. So he was made the leader of the family. The leader of the family does not mean that he should be only served. Actually, he has to do a service also to the family by reading the scriptures and guiding the family in the right direction. So he's like see, when you're going on a trip, not everybody reads the map. One person will read the map and give the directions to others and follow. So men are in that kind of a position where they have to read the scriptures, they have to know what is right and wrong, and they have to teach that to the entire family. When they don't do those things, and they only sometimes when we are put in a higher position, we want to take advantage of all the respect, all the services that we get from that position, but we don't want to fulfill the responsibilities. Then we are actually doing a sin. Similarly, let us not identify highly with the women body and think that, oh, women are called unintelligent, women are called like this. So the reason material education, materially women can do all those things, but women are very affectionate, very emotional, and easily they trust people. When somebody is very affectionate, and then they talk nicely, and these all becomes a weakness because they don't take care of themselves. Like if there is if example, Krishna conscious itself, if you see, women put all the house chores before Krishna consciousness. They want to take care of the house, they want to cook the family, and if somebody is sick in the family, they keep their chanting aside and take care of that sick person. So they are so much so taking care of all the family members that they forget to take care of themselves as a soul, and then they are not they don't have time to read the scriptures, they don't have time to practice all those things, they don't have time to sit down for 2-3 hours and sit down and chant the rounds, because they are all the time going around and serving everybody in the family with affection. When there is no affection, they can't serve. They sacrifice their comfort and serve everybody. So when this is happening, they are already in a vulnerable position because they are not reading the scriptures. They are not knowing what the scriptures are telling. They are not seeing the outside society. They are not interacting more with the outside people. So they don't know how people use sweet words to cheat. And they trust highly the family members, and they trust the people who come closer to them with affection and nice, because they are generally a people who give affection, and they don't have time to read the scriptures, know the things. And then eventually they are not spiritually elevated. The unintelligence here is about spiritually. Spiritually, spiritually, they are not elevated because they identify themselves with woman body very highly. That's why women also, then men, want to look good because they identify themselves. Naturally, that woman body has a higher identification. The soul in the woman body has a higher identification with the body. And then that's why they want to look good. They are affectionate. So that body itself makes them conditioned. See, every body makes that soul conditioned. So woman body naturally has affectionate, naturally has a tendency to look good. They want to look good. So all these features kind of make them conditioned and make them more and more body conscious, rather than a soul conscious. But the same woman, when they take up Krishna consciousness, when they start knowing that they are not body, they are the soul, they will be the best devotees. Because that's what Prabhupada says many places. Women, when you take Krishna consciousness, there is no men or women. There is no differentiation there. So once we take that Krishna consciousness, once we start knowing that, oh, I'm not this body, I'm soul, then the things start putting into place. And then when they become spiritually strong, spiritually elevated, then they are going to go in a right direction. So until then, every body has their own limitations and conditions. Certain bodies cannot do certain things. So in reality, there is no equality among all the bodies. Equality comes only at the stage of soul. As a soul, we are all equal. There is no man soul, woman soul, animal soul, devata soul. There is nothing like that. Even the soul which is inside the devatas, the soul which is inside a ant or a insect or a woman or a man, there is an equality. But when we take a body, we are already into a condition. You are put into that jar. So when you are put into a small jar, you have very limited space to move. If you are put into a big jar, you have a lot of space to move. So you're already conditioned. So when the condition is at the body level, let's not fight for equality at the body level. That is not a right equality, and that is not an eternal equality or a permanent equality. We try to achieve equality at the soul level. Let us all self-realize ourselves that I am a soul. For that, all of us should be chanting, engaging ourselves, Sravanam and Kirtanam. So when we are engaged in Sravanam and Kirtanam, all the time, chanting, we all elevate ourselves from the body, and then women also know where to keep the priorities. Okay, I took care of the family, I have done that, but I'm going to keep time for my own chanting, my own devotional service also. So they will start developing that. And when they start doing that, you find woman as the best devotee, because I have observed in my life here, uh, Krishna consciousness is introduced to the family together, but women catch it. If a woman catches it very quickly, she will practice very determined. Even though she's doing hundreds of things, she practices it very determined. Not only she practices, she makes children also to practice. She also takes care of children. She makes not only children, she makes her parents follow, her siblings follow. So if a woman takes up Krishna consciousness, she is going to deliver both the mother side family and the father side family. So taking up Krishna consciousness should be the solution of that. And the concern here which Arjuna is showing is a lesson for all of us, like how we should be raising the children, not by teaching them the Krishna consciousness. See, we try to teach children how to live in this society, how to earn money, how to talk back to the people, how he can be street smart. But we give little importance to Krishna consciousness. If we are not giving Krishna consciousness to our children, actually we are doing a big injustice to their soul rather than to their body. So it is as good as we are taking care of the cage, but not the bird inside. So how much ever beautiful cage we buy, if we are not feeding the bird inside the cage, the bird is going to die at one point of time. So how many ever physical facilities we are providing to the children, money, clothes, cars, comforts, this is all only to certain extent. The important thing that we have to give is Krishna consciousness. However, whatever the stage they may be in a receiving end or not a receiving end, but we should remember to give the Krishna consciousness. So the summary of this verse is like Arjuna is very concerned that all this destruction of family traditions, of pindodakas, samskaras, properly conceiving the children, all these things, when they go away, and when this happens, the future generation will be low in consciousness, low in, they more or less live like an animals without any corrections or anything, and that is not good. So that's the concern which Arjuna is saying, and Krishna is going to answer this also. So it is not that, oh, this concern was given by Arjuna, and then this sounds to us right now like, oh, Arjuna is right. Yeah, true. Family traditions will be given, traditions will be spoiled. Then how the war is? So Krishna is going to answer this in second chapter, 45 verse onwards. Every question, every concern which Arjuna spoke, Krishna addresses them. So remember, all of you, when you go to the second chapter, to relate, to link. Like compassion is answered from 11 to 30. In the second chapter, 11 to 30, Krishna addresses that where Arjuna is putting his, why Krishna is saying Arjuna is putting his compassion at the wrong place. Arjuna, you are putting compassion to the bodies. put your compassion to the soul level. So even when we are really affectionate to our children or anybody, we have to put compassion at the soul level, not at the body level. Krishna addresses that. And then 31st to 37, second chapter, Krishna says that how a Kshatriya dying in a war gets heaven, not the hell. He answers that there. Because Arjuna said that I'm not going to enjoy. So Krishna tells that you are going to enjoy in this way. And then fear of sinful reactions. Krishna also answers that in the second chapter. And destruction of family traditions. Krishna answers that know the purpose of the Vedas, know the purpose, what is the purpose of all these traditions. The purpose of all these traditions is to elevate your consciousness and become Krishna consciousness. So you become Krishna consciousness, then this will be fixed. So Krishna is going to answer all these questions also in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So I'm going to conclude here. I think I addressed the point of Chanakya Panditas mentioned in the purport and all the other points also in the purport. If anybody think that I missed anything, they can ask. I think I can conclude here and I can take any questions or comments for 5-10 minutes, and then I have to go to another class which starts at 8. Thank you, Matajis and Prabhujis. If anybody have any questions or comments or corrections or additions, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Thank you so much for this nectar class, for the explanation of the verse 1.40 and about the children, how can we raise them. And it was so nectarine. And thank you so much. You have cancelled your class, another class, and you gave time for our
Yeah, I
class.
postponed that to tomorrow because that is a local session. We do Ramayan 7 to 8. So I postponed it to tomorrow.
So
Thank you, Mataji, for your
Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful darshan of both of you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So anybody has any question or comment, please go ahead.
I don't have any comments, anything else. I have only to add on this one. Mataji has explained everything very nicely, which we can clearly understand, and explanation and everything is very good. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy.
Thank you, Mataji. Such a beautiful class, a very clear understanding of the soul at the body and soul level. How we need to focus more on the soul than the body. It's so beautiful. And I don't have any questions, Mataji. Just was wondering that Lord Krishna's had a son called Sam, right? Who actually was pretty demonic. But that must be for the Leela, of course.
Yeah.
Uh,
Krishna had 10 sons with each queen. So he has many sons. Yeah, it's for the Leela.
yeah. And otherwise, if you look at Ravan's wife, also was very, very religious. And she also, that also was for the Leela. Otherwise, they couldn't have had sons who were so cruel. Yeah.
But
Thank you, Mata.
Ravana,
Huh?
yep. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Ravana himself is not right. Like Ravana is somebody who knows everything but still does. Ravana again is a demon, is a devotee in the previous life. So it goes on a different level.
Yes,
Again.
Mataji. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, thank you very much for the explanation of the verse about the intelligence of the women. Like when I first read, like any other women, I misunderstood, but you gave a deeper meaning for that, and it was well explained. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Krishna's mercy.
Mataji, after a long time we heard you and everybody was asking me
When is Vanamalini Manjari Mataji speaking? When her class schedule?
As I told you in the message, I'm very insignificant. I'm not really great or anything. I just repeat what I hear. But it is all the love of the devotees that they are welcoming me that. So I feel more responsible when you say that. Like, I do more homework. I try to refer more and bring it to all the devotees because you are all giving me your time of listening, sitting on listening to a speaker. It's not like it's not any irresponsible position. So I am like a mic. I have to just bring everything from all the places I have heard. So I have notes, like I have in my room a big shelf where I write my notes on. And Bhagavad Gita is something is which very, very dear to me. So I have, so I'll go back and refer and I bring all those points I heard from various places. I understand. So that's what I do. And sometimes when you may be wondering, many of you, oh, we only asked Mataji yesterday, she's ready today, how to. Generally, you all, because the reason for that is like, as I always say, I spend 4 to 5 hours every day in reading. I have different reading calls where I am reading scriptures at different stages with different groups of devotees. So, Bhagavatam itself, I read with 3 sets of devotees. With some people, I'm reading 7th canto. With some people, I'm reading 5th canto. With some people, I'm reading 2nd canto. And with some people, I'm reading 3rd canto. So, this is how. So, because of constantly, regularly reading, the topics are on top of my head. I don't have good memory also. I sometimes forget. Because I'm reading regularly, I'm able to remember and I am going to refer easily. But sometimes I forget also. Oh, where did I read that? What did I read that? So, it's all Krishna's mercy. Krishna wants to bring all the things, my Guru Maharaj, then I'm able to do that. So it's not that, oh, I'm able to do whenever, sometimes 10 minutes before I know also I'm able to do because the homework was constantly happening. The preparation was constantly happening. It's not that it is something I am great or anything. So that's what I just wanted to mention. Uh, Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. You all put me right. You all put me more responsible. It makes me feel like, oh, I have to read more and share things with more to the devotees because you're all listening. Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. We agree what you are saying and all, no question on that one. But you make the things very simple, like your cage and the bird, body and the soul. So that is may not be written anywhere. That is your example, and to make the lesson very simple.
Yeah. Examples are mine. Sometimes how I understand, I try to put that. So yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Krishna's mercy.
So, Mataji, one question I may have is that how, when we look at, first and foremost, we have to look at ourselves as a soul. Then only we can look at the other person, like you say, look at children as souls
Mhm.
or other people. That 90% of the time one forgets, which you have to be reminded. But when you look at somebody as a soul, how do you treat them differently? If you can give an example, one or two.
Like, let's say I'll give example with my own children. See, sometimes I have 3 children, as Shamrasika Mataji has said. So sometimes when we look at them as soul, immediately our importance goes to their Krishna consciousness, not to their studies, not how they are looking, not how much they are making, how capable they are. So if I have to tell one last instruction to my children, I only have 1 minute and I have to tell to my children, what will we say? If we think immediately, we will know where our consciousness is. So the one line I always tell, because children these days don't have time to listen to the parents. I have little bit older children, 22 and 18 and then 13. So they won't give us a lot of time to sit down and listen to us. So the only one instruction if I have to give every day morning before I chant, I listen, always remember Krishna. Never forget Krishna. That's it. So then you are seeing at the soul level. So when you are looking at the soul level, you are soul. What is the designation of the soul? Soul is the servant of the Lord. Soul is the part of the Lord. So that instruction I give. I don't tell, even they may be, right now, they may be failing something or they may be struggling something. But I don't say, oh, go and do that correctly, go and get job correctly, go and earn more. No, one last instruction, if I want to keep on, because what we are telling every day is what is registering in them. When we are raising them every day, what we are doing, study well, you have to earn well. Study well, happiness is earning. You have to earn, then you live well. Then they think that, oh, earning money is only happiness. And when they find that after earning money there is no happiness, they are like confused. What? This is what I'm hearing from my childhood. If you earn money, you are happy. But that's not true. We all know money does not buy all the happiness. So if one last, so treating them as a soul is like, never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna. Chant. Follow the 4 regulative principles, if possible. So this is how you look at the soul level, not at the external body level. And let's say to somebody in some crucial relationships, in-laws or somebody, so they don't know how to talk or they talk in a way that hurts. Then you can, looking at the soul level is like, they are in that body, they are conditioned, we don't know what they have went through, so that's why they are treating like that. Let me treat them nicely. Let me not do the same treatment to them. So I will treat nicely. I will, so that because I'm a devotee, I'm looking them at as a soul, as a servant of the Lord. I'm serving them like he's serving Lord. So I will treat them lightly. So these are the few examples which I practically follow in my life when I look at the people. However mean they may be, like sometimes some people I come across, if they don't understand me properly, they may come across little bit hurting. But if they are a devotee and they have some good quality, I only look at that. If they are good at singing, if they are good at chanting, if they are good at something, I always, when I look at them, that's what I see. Oh, they are such a great devotee. They are singing nicely. They have so much dedication in chanting. So that's what I look. So when you look, you are looking positive towards them. So you're not looking at their negative bodily traits, which can put you off and which you can make you also like, oh, let me say 2 more things to them. So this is how, if we do, Mataji, if we practice, slowly we'll get it. There are times where we fail because we are not perfect. We ourselves are not self-realized. But we can make conscious efforts trying to do this. And our sadhana will help us to practice this.
Thank you, Mataji. Very helpful. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I am extremely sorry, Samrashika Mataji. I just have a little service to do before I go to my 8 o'clock session. So,
Oh, Mataji, please don't say sorry. We are so
yeah.
fortunate to
So
have
a hard
you.
stop today.
And let's pay your businesses. So,
Correct.
all the Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpatarvesha Krupa Sindhu Vavecha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha, Anantakoti Vaishnava Ki Jai,
Jai.
Namaha.
Jai.
Jai.
Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai,
Jai.
Ki Jai. Hare Krishna Malini Manjari Mataji Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shyam
Hare
Rasika Mata
Krishna.
Giti Vijay.
Hare
Jai.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
Mataji. Thank
Hari
you.
Bol.
Our Nilagonda Prabhu is traveling to India, so he messaged me that he will not be able to give the class today. So that's why I request Mataji, and she's here. And hopefully Prabhuji will be here with us next Saturday. So Hare Krishna. Partha Prabhu, after a long time you joined, so welcome back again.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. See you at the temple, Mataji. Surendra Prabhu and Gita Mataji, we'll see you at temple today.
Hari Bol.